When encountering evil spirits, don't panic. First, shout out the Great Mighty Dragon King mantra twice. I remember some tactics mentioned in the Bai Jia Jiang 10 that can be used. Take advantage of the enemy's panic to further intimidate them. It will help to break down the enemy's morale. Although I appear calm on the surface, I have been silently chanting in my heart. Hurry up and leave, big brother. Actually, when it comes to boasting, I'm quite good at it. If I could scare it away in one fell swoop and make sure it never dares to cause trouble again, that would be the best outcome. If I can't scare it away, then I'll consider it a way to boost my courage. The chopsticks in the bowl started moving slowly. It looks like they are preparing to leave. Through the restaurant and turn left is the entrance to the inn. Suddenly, the chopsticks made a sharp turn, and the evil spirits ran away to somewhere else. I took out the talisman paper and hurried to keep up. Oh no, grandmother, there is no other way. I can only endure it. The breaking evil talisman that missed has an effective time of about 20 minutes. I still have 7 breaking evil talismans and 3 body protection talismans. I can handle them until dawn. Even if I have to stay up for 3 days, I have to face it head-on until the end. Accompanied by urgent cries of, "Urgently, urgently, as commanded by the law," the day finally broke. After coming out of their respective rooms, the students chatted about the sounds they heard last night, like ghostly cries and howls, running around, and shouting something about daring monsters. "Urgently, urgently, as commanded by the law." The man in yellow said he heard it too, and it scared him so much that he spent the whole night sleeping under the covers. At this point, Guanming overheard the conversation and came over with disdain, saying that the girl must have watched too many horror movies last night. Then he mocked and said, "It must be some guy who was going crazy and came out in the middle of the night to vent." The girl looked at Guanming with disgust and said, "What are you talking about?" Annoyed, Guanming laughed and replied, "What are you thinking? I said she got up for a run. Your minds are really dirty." That's how the playful group headed to the cafeteria. And at this moment, I had already fallen asleep in the room, snoring loudly, when suddenly, I felt a severe burning sensation on my face. Damn it! Who slapped me in the face? When I opened my eyes, it turned out to be Wang Chung. He said I was sleeping too heavily and couldn't be woken up no matter how he called me, so he had to give me a slap. These 2 people then lifted me up and took me to the lakeside for a sketching session, because Lu Mingming had already made threats yesterday. If you don't draw well today, you will lose credits, and at that moment, I already felt disheartened. That thing confronted me until 5 o'clock before leaving. I haven't slept for 2 nights now. Destroy me, I am mentally exhausted. After arriving at the lakeside, I randomly found a place. I threw my things and lay down with my eyes closed. Even if I fail this semester, I can just give 2 cigarettes to change the score back later. It's such nice weather, it's a waste not to sleep. Just then, I suddenly remembered something. Last night's talismans have all been used up. What should I do tonight? I have no choice but to set up the tools and continue drawing talismans. I really don't know what sins I committed in my past life. I can't even sleep well. I painted until dusk, using a total of 13 talismans, which performed better than yesterday. It might be because I was tired, so my focus was all on painting the talismans. There are 2 more nights to go. I must hold on and hope nothing goes wrong. My name is Cui Reckless. The last Yin-Yang Master, in order to resist the unknown ghosts, I have been staying up for several days painting talismans and dare not close my eyes. Originally, I wanted to take a rest after dinner today, but Lu Mingming insisted on organizing some kind of group meeting to give a brief analysis of our works. Oh my god, I am so tired, just like yesterday. Everyone laid out their paintings on the playground, forming a circle, listening to Lu Mingming ramble on. Without warning, Lu Mingming picked up a painting and started questioning me. What is this painting of? No matter how I tried to argue, no matter how I explained, Lu Mingming just wouldn't listen. As a result, he stood up and kicked me. I could only cover my butt and walk back to the dormitory with a helpless look on my face. When I got downstairs, I went back to the dormitory to buy a pack of cigarettes and a box of instant coffee, all for a total of $50. My heart is bleeding. But for the sake of staying alert, there is no other way. Tonight, I am doomed to stay awake. In the blink of an eye, it's already the morning of the 5th day. I was entangled with that thing all night long last night. It seems to have a short memory. If this continues, I will definitely die suddenly. But now I can't be careless. Even a moment of error could result in a loss of life. What else can I do? I am also very desperate. I can only hold on for now, until I arrive at the cafeteria. I have been zoning out, and slowly it feels like I can hear someone calling my name. When I snapped back to reality, I found the dining table full of girls. Guan Ning came over and asked me what's wrong. He couldn't seize such a good opportunity to show off his refined and elegant manner. "What are you thinking?" I replied weakly. I went to bed, and the girls at the table were all shocked and looked disgusted at me. They said I was gross for saying I wanted to sleep in front of girls. No wonder I looked like I had a kidney deficiency. I clicked my tongue secretly. These nagging old women really annoy me. I just want to sleep, not sleep with anyone. After dinner, find a step, 3 sways, and return to the lakeside. Even though my body can barely hold up anymore. But when I think about victory being within reach, I feel motivated again. I pour cold water on my head to wake up my mind. Pour instant coffee directly into your mouth. Pat 2 dollops of cooling oil directly onto your temples vigorously. Tomorrow is the 15th. After meeting 9th uncle, I can take the initiative and directly eliminate that thing. Then I will be able to sleep well. No matter what, I must hold out till the last night. In the middle of the night, I arrived at the corridor early. I felt sleepy inside the room. What if I come outside to wait for you directly today? I get nervous as soon as I enter a dark place, but this nervousness helps me stay awake. To ease my nervousness, I can only keep talking to myself non-stop. To catch that unknown thing, I have stayed awake for 5 days without closing my eyes. My name, Cui Reckless, is not just for show. I'm about to collapse. I get nervous as soon as I enter a dark place. I can only talk to myself constantly to ease my nerves. It's really strange today. It's already 2:40 in the morning, and that thing still hasn't shown up. And now the time corresponds to the ox hour, as the rat hour belongs to the rat. Legend has it that rats have the magical power to gnaw open the heavens and the earth. Therefore, after the rat hour, it is the time when the heavens and earth are just beginning to open up. The transition between the ox hour and the rat hour, followed by the tiger hour, is also the most keen and treacherous time of the day. Demons and monsters like to cause trouble at this hour. It's almost the end of the rat hour, and that thing hasn't appeared yet. I wonder if it has given up. There may still be other strange things happening. If it doesn't appear, I'll have to stay up all night. If it shows up while I can't resist falling asleep, then I'll be in danger, so I can't sleep. At this moment, a bright figure walked out from the side room. When I saw someone coming out, I hid beside. If I were seen in my current state, I would definitely be considered mentally ill. The girl seems to be talking on the phone. She leaned against a nearby pillar. From her words, it seems like she has just been through a breakup. Seeing her tear-stained face, I also felt sympathetic. Both of us are down-and-out wanderers. Brother, I have also been dumped before. I don't know what that guy is thinking. How could he treat such a pretty girl like that? In the midst of good fortune, but not appreciating it, getting off topic while thinking. I tapped my own forehead. Now is not the time to think about such things. The ugly times are about to pass. If that thing comes back tonight, it's only a matter of minutes. I need to stay alert at all times. The girl picked up the phone and stood up, but did not go back into the room. Instead, she walked towards my direction. Scaring people might end up scaring oneself. If she sees my appearance, she will definitely scream loudly. Then everyone in the whole building will be woken up. It seems I can only take the initiative to strike first. I rush out and cover her mouth, trying to stop her from screaming first. Suddenly, the chopsticks in the bowl of the sea stood straight up. I whispered to myself, "This is not good, this is too sudden." I was just about to say that it's dangerous here, let's hurry back. I saw her face, and the words I was about to say got swallowed back. Zhao Yaxin. Damn! Why are you so ugly? Who would have thought she would slap me back in return? Her strength is so great that she slapped me and sent me flying out with one hit. I spun around twice on the ground before stopping. This demon has possessed Zhao Yaxin's body, and it's not playing fair. It directly slapped me in the face. I stood up and ran towards the woods. I need to lead it away first. When in danger, retreat is the best strategy. A person possessed by a ghost is very scary. The surrounding air will quickly turn cold, and the possessed person will also become different. For example, this girl, her face made my heart constrict. Her facial features were like Guan Ming when he was possessed that day, with her features all squeezed together. After being slapped by her, I quickly got up and ran away. In the 36 stratagems, fleeing is the best strategy. Judging from the force of that slap, she definitely wanted to kill me because the humiliation I've given her these past few days was not small. Suddenly, a strange voice sounded behind my head. I turned to look, and my heart jumped to my throat instantly. Just as it was about to touch me, I dodged and threw out a breaking evil talisman. The evil spirits are incredibly agile. With a quick brush, it leaped away and landed not far from me, giving me a sinister smile. I came up with a plan in my mind and muttered under my breath, "I spared you many times, you demon. Let's see if you can still laugh." You are pushing it too far. Don't think I don't know what you are. You coward, if you dare, follow me. While shouting, I ran towards the lake. Just getting to the lakeside, I can then unleash my skills without any reservations. Suddenly, the voice stops abruptly, and I turn my head slightly. I only saw the evil spirit bowing down on the ground, preparing to gather strength. Suddenly its legs were covered in bulging blue veins. It pushed off forcefully and unexpectedly flew towards me in a low-level posture. In the blink of an eye, it caught up with me. Without thinking much, I quickly formed hand seals. Then I shouted loudly, "Urgently, urgently, as commanded by the law." The great Qin body protection talisman behind me immediately took effect. They were immediately bounced away by the evil spirits. I seized the opportunity to run into the woods and, at the same time, turn off the flashlight on my phone. The evil spirits feel a sharp pain in their right hand, so they didn't choose to rush into the woods recklessly. I looked at the moon. Today is the 15th day, so we can invite ninth uncle tonight. There are still 2 hours until daybreak. No matter what, I have to hold on. I'm just one step away now. I hide behind the tree, looking for an opportunity, staring tightly at this evil spirit. I saw it slowly stand up, then it let out a strange laugh and charged towards me. I cursed quietly. I was discovered by this evil beast. It looks like I have to go out and fight it head-on. I picked up the talisman paper and rushed forward, but my attack was unsuccessful as it dodged it. This evil beast not only has fast speed, but also astonishing jumping ability. Suddenly, I felt a heavy blow from behind. I was kicked and fell to the ground in an instant. The force was so strong that I felt like my spine was about to break. Just then, the evil spirits jumped directly onto my waist. I directly shouted in pain. I then felt waves of suffocation in my neck. In this position, I can't exert any force at all now. But if I slightly tilt my body, exert some force, I can stand up directly. If this evil spirit possessed a strong man like Guan Ming, it would. I can only wait to die. But this evil spirit possessed a little girl. How can it suppress me with such a small weight? What kind of man is he exactly? He is the kind of man who can scare away evil spirits that possess people. Not long ago, I was gripped tightly by the evil spirits around my throat, but luckily it possessed a woman instead. I seized the opportunity and knocked it down to the ground with the back of my head. I turned around and pinned her down beneath me. These evil spirits are still relentless, trying to choke my neck. I wonder if this evil spirit only knows this move. I opened my hands and grabbed its arms, holding a breaking evil talisman in my right hand, because it kept struggling. My left hand may unavoidably touch something that makes my blood boil. This also makes my nose bleed uncontrollably. I don't have time to dwell on it. I picked up the breaking evil talisman and stuck it on the forehead of the evil spirit. With a painful roar, the evil spirits actually lifted me up with a painful cry, and then quickly fled from beneath me. I was startled by this sudden force. After being struck by my breaking evil talisman, the evil spirits still tried to escape, slowly crawling towards the distance. I picked up chopsticks made of twigs and said slowly, "You have such beautiful thoughts. Why don't you continue laughing? You were hit by my breaking evil talisman on your forehead. Stop laughing. Even if you scream for help, no one will come to rescue you. In fact, no matter how you call, you can't run away. You can try to escape, but leave the girl behind for me." Then I slowly walked in front of this evil creature. I used chopsticks to pick up the middle finger and forcefully bend it. The eerie scream shook the birds in the woods and scattered. After it was over, I came to the tree, lit a cigarette, thinking it's really not easy, it's almost dawn. I guess that damn beast won't come back to the inn to harm people again. And now I'm in a miserable state. My face is swollen, and to make matters worse, I lost one of my shoes. Next time, I must not wear slippers when dealing with such situations. I muttered to myself and planned to ask Ninth Uncle tonight how to completely eliminate it. If I carry Zhao Yaxin back to the room, and we are discovered in that posture, there will be no way to explain it. I would be treated as a rogue. I can't just leave her in the woods. I keep hitting my face in distress. After thinking for a while, I decided to move her to a different place first. Then I will use my eloquence to fabricate a perfect lie to get through this. I feel the softness behind me, which made me, a young man with little experience, have a nosebleed again. Who the hell can handle this? It's almost dawn. I carried Zhao Yaxin to the lakeside, and then sat down next to her, and started smoking. Looking at Zhao Yaxin's appearance, I pondered for a moment. Then I slowly took off my clothes, thinking to myself, sneaking a peek like this is quite something. I suffered torment for her all night again. I might as well go all out. I covered her up with some clothes. Out of sight, out of mind. Stop me from overthinking. There is no way she would torment me mentally. I went through a restless night. I have also figured out some things. I think about what has happened these days, my family, and the words Lu II said to me. May I ask, am I really suitable for learning the Tao? Am I really suitable for this profession? What kind of life do I really want? Do people who study the Taoist canon of the 3 purities inevitably experience the 5 afflictions and 3 lacks? I am only 20 years old, just an ordinary student. I do not have the kind of heroic spirit to uphold justice. I just want to live an ordinary life and find a job that is neither excellent nor bad after graduation. Go back to my hometown, buy a house that is neither big nor small, marry a wife, and have a child. This is the most ordinary dream of an ordinary person like me. But why has my life started to change since I studied the Taoist canon of the 3 purities? I started experiencing various dangers, began to force a smile, and felt that my ideals were getting farther away. Do I have to continue like this in the future? At 5:10, looking at the calm lake surface, the sun has just risen from the foot of the mountain, casting a pink hue on Jingpa Lake. This scene is so beautiful that I won't forget it even after decades. Seeing this hue, my mood is lifted, and I am once again the carefree me, smiling day by day. At that moment, I suddenly thought of something. Although I have lost many things, At least my heart was warm when I released the female ghost in Dong Xija's house. My heart was as warm as it is now, when I guarded the hotel entrance for 3 nights. My intentions are very pure. I just want to protect my family and friends. Looking at my reflection in the water, I smiled slightly. Let's take it step by step. As long as I don't have any regrets, it's all good. I flicked away the cigarette butt in my hand. I arrived not far away, picked up a large basin, and left half a basin of lake water by the lake. After wetting myself first, I splashed the water in the basin fiercely towards her, then quickly threw the large basin very far away. With a cry of surprise, Zhao Yaxin woke up from her sleep. At first sight, she saw me standing in front of her, with a sleazy look on my face and bare shoulders. She covered her chest, looking panicked, and asked me who I was. Where is this place? After realizing it, Zhao Yaxin recognized me. Aren't you Cui Reckless? I knew she would react this way, so I used a preemptive move. I pretended to be out of breath and said, "This is by the lake, right? You must be a freshman. I found you soaking in the water during my morning workout, so I quickly rescued you. Is everything all right? Also, I need to correct you. My name is Cui Reckless, not Cui Reckle. Actually, this girl looks pretty good. She is definitely outstanding in our school. She was soaked all over, trembling all over, and still asked me, without relaxing her vigilance, how she appeared here. I pretended to smile wryly and scratched my head as I said to her, "Sister, how would I know? Why didn't you get a good night's sleep and went to play in the lake? What exactly happened? Shall we call the police?" Zhao Yaxin rubbed her head, thinking for a long time, but seemed to have no clue after thinking it over. At this moment, she murmured, "I made a phone call last night, and then I don't remember anything." I, who suffer from the 5 afflictions and 3 lacks, always manage to encounter romantic opportunities. Ordinary people will never understand things like being possessed by evil spirits. I have to lie to Zhao Yaxin. I said I rescued her from the lake. It's been so long, and it's already morning. If we don't go back now, those people might say something if they wake up. A man and a woman alone in the wilderness, even a fool knows what could happen. So I told her, "Let's go back first. We're both soaked through. We'll change our clothes when we get back, don't worry. I won't talk about what happened tonight to anyone." She, who was indecisive by nature, agreed after hearing me say that. Then I pulled her up from the ground, and the short sleeve that was covering her belly fell down. She immediately blushed, covering her chest and asking me not to look. I awkwardly nodded in response. I bent over to pick up my limited edition Adidas t-shirt and handed it to her while turning away. On the way back, we exchanged a few words. After she saw my face, she asked me what's wrong with my face. How should I respond? Should I say she slapped me? Shaking my head, I forced a smile and said, "I saw you lying in the shallow water this morning, so I ran towards the lake shore." I accidentally bumped into a stone. After a moment of silence, she shyly thanked me. Cui Reckless, thank you. After returning to the base, Zhao Yaxin also found her shoes and phone and greeted us briefly. We all went back to our respective rooms. 3 hours later, I was woken up by Wang Chung and Little Kai to do some sketching. Today is also the last day. After playing here tomorrow, we will return to Harbin the day after tomorrow. Wang Chung and the 2 of them started laughing when they saw my face. "Hey, Brother Reckless, how did you manage to sleep so much that your face got swollen? Did you slap yourself in the dream?" I was speechless for a moment and told them, "I don't sleep well. I fell headfirst off the bed at night. Didn't you 2 hear that?" Looking at the 2 of them laughing stupidly, I couldn't help but laugh along. It was the kind of genuine smile that came from the heart, even though it was still very silly. When I was sketching by the lake, I was still drawing talisman and the last day. Please invite 9th uncle tonight. I just need to make one more move to lift that thing. Thinking about this makes me extremely happy. The hard times are coming to an end. I can sleep as long as I want after tomorrow. In the blink of an eye, it's already noon. I didn't expect today's meal to be so lavish. It turned out to be an all-in-one pot, which means all ingredients are stewed in one pot. Although it doesn't look good, I still wolfed it down. The girl sitting next to me asked what happened to my face, if someone had hit me. I vaguely responded in a perfunctory manner. These two girls enraged me to the point of cursing that I will never find a girlfriend in my life. I said even if I can't find a girlfriend in my lifetime, I still won't be interested in someone like you. While eating and chatting, a very pleasant voice came from behind me. Listening carefully, it made my heart itch. "Brother Reckless, I'm here to return your clothes," she said. I turned around and saw Zhao Yaxin standing smartly behind me. My heart sank. This girl is really aggressive. Why did you come to tell me this while I was eating? I was entangled by the class beauty. Last night, in a sudden turn of events, I saved her and gave her my half-sleeve to wear as she was half-naked. I didn't expect that she came over to deliver clothes while I was eating. I immediately coughed out the pancake in my mouth. So dangerous, almost choked me to death. I vigorously pounded my chest. At this moment, Zhao Yaxin approached, with a blush on her face, asked if I was okay. She also thoughtfully brought me a bowl of soup. This action startled the girl sitting next to me. She never expected that the class beauty would be so intimate with me. Wang Chung and little Kai were so surprised that they couldn't close their mouths. And I have become numb. How should I explain this? I scratched my head and said, "I'm not in a hurry for that clothes. Why don't you take it and use it for a few more days before returning it? I don't mind." When I said this, I regretted it immediately. I blabbered again. What am I saying? Zhao Yaxin blushed and quickly handed me the clothes in her hand. She said, "No need, thank you," then turned around and ran off. Since I was facing away from the female classmates sitting at the same table while eating, I couldn't see their expressions. But I knew they must be saying, "Good cabbage is gnawed by pigs." I picked up the washed clothes and smelled them with lavender scent. So fragrant. This action immediately irritated the female classmate at the table. They directly called me a big pervert, and I didn't back down. After eating, I directly changed into that piece of clothing, and the fragrance emanated all the way. They say people feel great when they encounter joyful events. I don't know what good thing happened, but I just feel happy. After arriving at the lake, I did a brief stretch. Today is another day of working hard on painting talismans. Time quickly passed, and it was soon evening after finishing dinner. We arrived at the basketball court outside the sketching base, where Lu Mingming continued to analyze the artwork. Today he was very curious, picked up my artwork, and asked me where the original Sunrise in the Yi series had gone. "Today, why did you paint so ordinarily?" I grinned and said, "The last one needs to be a bit more decent, just to give some face to Instructor Lu, right?" After Lu Mingming finished his comments, he didn't dismiss everyone. Instead, he said, "It's really darn hot today," and asked us whether we knew about his scheme. We just responded with a, "Yes." He smirked at us and said, "It's so hot today. Let's play a cool game." Afterwards, Lu Mingming pointed to an empty building not far behind him and said to us, "When I was in college, my buddies and I used to sneak into buildings at night for some excitement. We have the opportunity now. How about leaving some memories of this sketching session? Are you up for it?" The other male classmates' enthusiasm is high, and I raise my hand to vote against it. Not for anything else. If evil spirits come during this time, we will all be done for. Sure enough, as expected, Lu Mingming waved his hand and said my single opposition was invalid. Immediately, he gathered everyone to walk towards the empty building. In this situation, it's nothing more than a man wanting to find a female companion. Then the men take advantage of the opportunity to gain some benefits, while the women want to seize the darkness of the night to find a long-awaited male companion to snuggle up to. Lu Mingming is also well-intentioned, wanting to give his students an excellent opportunity to pair up. In the midst of contemplation, Zhao Yaxin found me and wants to team up with me. After some consideration, I agreed. We have some acquaintance. When the time comes, I will quickly take her to slip away from that rundown building to find ninth uncle. She shouldn't drag me down. Later, under the contemptuous gazes of the crowd, we arrived next to the abandoned construction site. As we were talking, suddenly, a figure appeared from behind. The person had a stern face and said in a sinister voice, "Students, have you heard of ghost-blocking people? It refers to people with very low tempers walking in the dark at night. If encountering passing monsters and demons, it is very easy to be confused by the impurities and lose direction, because there is a ghost blocking in front, so others cannot see him. An hour ago, Lu Mingming brought us to explore this broken building. When we arrived downstairs, we encountered an uncle security guard from the hotel patrolling. After the uncle found out that we were going to that empty building, he left a sentence saying it's better to go to that building less, and then said some strange words before leaving. At this moment, I also decided in my heart that there must be something strange in this building, but Lu Mingming refused to believe it. Ignoring the security guard's words as if they were a breeze, he led us into this empty building. Everyone turned on their flashlights and formed a circle. Lu Mingming stood there and reiterated the rules. No one can leave halfway, no solo actions, everyone must move in pairs. After the first pair completes a full circle and returns to the first floor, the next pair takes over. Zhao Yaxin and I were placed in the last group by that damn Lu Mingming. Guanming's group was ahead of us. After this kid handed me a cigarette, he actually started making fun of me, saying my face looked green. You are obviously frightened. When I heard this, I really wanted to kick him to death. I am now worried about how to cover for you. Even the Yaguai in the wild dare to pay respects. Time has passed by every minute. It's now 1:15. Finally, it's Guanming's turn. I reminded them to be careful, and then they went upstairs. Zhao Yaxin blushed and said to me, "Brother Reckless, it's almost our turn. I am scared, so please protect me later." I checked the time and estimated that it would be exactly 2 o'clock when it's our turn. It's easy to protect Zhao Yaxin alone if that thing appears, but it will be extremely difficult to protect so many people. Then I said to Zhao Yaxin, "How about we don't go up later?" Zhao Yaxin was suddenly stunned. She might think I'm a coward, but I couldn't care less. Zhao Yaxin blushed again and whispered, "I'm actually really scared and don't want to go up. Let's wait for them to come down and then go back." I raised my hand, patted Zhao Yaxin's shoulder, and smiled. "Thank you, girl." Looking at Zhao Yaxin's face, I secretly thought, why is her face blushing again? Is she feeling embarrassed? Suddenly, the girl from Guanming's group started yelling, "Where are you? Don't scare me! Where are you hiding?" I thought to myself, this is not good, and I quickly ran upstairs. When I arrived at that floor, the girl told me that Guanming was right next to her just a moment ago, but he disappeared in the blink of an eye. I told him to go down first. If Guanming is just hiding, it's a small matter. The scariest thing is encountering a ghost blocking the way. I'll go from downstairs to upstairs. Ran back downstairs again, and there was no sign of Guanming at all. If we can't find him before the rooster crows, he most likely is in great danger. I stood upstairs and waved to Lu Mingming and the others, telling them that I have also found Guanming. We'll use the restroom then leave, asking them to go back first. Watching them leave, one by one, I hurried to the lakeside. Now I can only pin my hopes on Sherfu. The well water is groundwater. I picked up a mirror and waved it in the water. Picking up the mirror, I started murmuring the name Weifengjiao, Weifengjiu, come out quickly. The reflection of a figure gradually appeared in the mirror. I only heard Sherfu laughing and saying jovially, "Little Reckless, what's the matter with calling your master? Have you heard of the 5 past gods? A human body with a snake neck, a monkey face, rat eyes, and a pig nose." Upon learning that I encountered such a being, Ninth uncle couldn't help but show a worried expression. He didn't expect that there are still people in the world who would worship this evil god. He then explained to me that among the 306 main gods, there are 100 animal deities hidden within. It speaks of how many of these supposed gods are actually animals that have cultivated and transformed into deities. But the so-called the five past gods are not divine beings. They are a kind of demonic evil that poses a threat to the living realm. Legend has it that these creatures have unpredictable temperaments. Occasionally, in the past, they would help local people by doing good deeds. It is said that as long as the five past gods visit a household, that family will have an abundance of food. Their granary and containers will always be full. But where there is a benefit, there is also a drawback. Those households that have received blessings from the five past gods often cannot have a peaceful end. Upon hearing this, I couldn't help but feel shocked. I broke out in a cold sweat. According to Shifu's words, if there was no loss of life, it would not give up easily. I tried to ask Shifu if there was a way to eliminate it. Ninth uncle smiled and told me that getting rid of this thing is not difficult at all, because before Shifu passed away, he also encountered a five past gods, which is an intangible entity. Besides being born with Yin-Yang Eyes, there is no other way to see it. But as long as you reduce your own anger, you can see its vague form. Just seeing it is not enough. To eliminate this entity, you must use the palm talisman technique. The doctrine in the heart, using blood as a guide, quickly draw the corresponding talisman in your hand to make it effective. This belongs to a more advanced talisman arts technique. Although the power of palm talisman is not as great as that on paper, its application is the fastest and most effective. As long as the palm with the talisman drawn on it touches the entity, the power of the talisman can be activated. I looked at my own hand. Yesterday, in the early hours, when fighting with the five past gods, my hand was cut and hasn't scarred yet. I showed my hand to Shifu and asked if I can draw talisman in this condition. Shifu sighed and said, "Heavens! It's truly determined by fate. This might be the calamity destined for you. It all depends on you now." I panicked at that moment and asked, "Shifu, can you draw with the back of your hand?" Shifu pondered for a moment and said he had never tried it. Then I asked, "What should we do if ninth uncle Guanming is blocked by a ghost?" Shifu told me that this is relatively simple. Just find a black cat to lead the way. Once you find it, use the breaking evil talisman to rescue him. Another simple way is to find a person with very bad luck and walk with them to that place. The methods mentioned by Shifu make me want to cry without tears. It's difficult enough to find a black cat in the middle of the night, and finding a person with bad luck on top of that is even harder. This is clearly a challenging task. I glanced at the time. It is already 2:20 in the early morning. If we don't go rescue Guanming now, the five past gods will come knocking on the door. When the time comes, there will really be no chance. I urgently said to my master, "Master, I'm leaving. Tonight might be the toughest challenge I face. If something happens to me, I will go downstairs to accompany you." Before leaving, my master reminded me with a sentence, "Do not give up easily. Take care of everything." Then I ran towards the dilapidated building. Just ran a few steps, and saw a dark figure under the tree. I picked up the talisman paper and launched an attack, thinking that the five past gods had possessed someone's body. But it turned out that it was Zhao Yaxin. When I saw Zhao Yaxin standing there, it really pissed me off that I went out alone so late at night without sleeping. When I looked into her eyes, I felt a bit guilty. I only heard her slowly say, "Who were you talking to just now?" I secretly thought, "Oh no, he heard all of my conversation with ninth uncle." I had intended to explain, but unexpectedly Zhao Yaxin started to cry. I awkwardly scratched my head. Maybe it was because I scolded her earlier. Shortly after, I apologized to her, and after a moment, Zhao Yaxin blushed and took out something from her hand. "It's a Yaxin cross," Zhao Yaxin said slowly to me. "Brother Reckless, this is the cross I have carried for many years. According to my family, it can bring good luck. I don't know if it's true or not. I just want to thank you. When I saw Zhao Yaxin, I was stunned. I don't know what to say. I am very touched because she is the second girl to give me something. Setting aside whether it can bring good luck or not, as a Tao cultivator, even Jesus may not be able to retain me. But she chose not to keep it herself, and instead gave it to me. Could it be that she really has feelings for me? I smiled awkwardly, took the cross and said, "Thank you, but it's too late now. Let me take you back for a rest." Zhao Yaxin hesitated for a moment and refused my offer, saying she wouldn't go back. With a determined look on her face, she raised her head and told me that she had overheard my conversation with ninth uncle by the lake just now. Although she found it unbelievable and couldn't hear clearly, she knew it was related to Guanming's disappearance. Upon hearing this, I was so anxious that I even grabbed my own hair. I didn't expect this silly girl to be so clever. Suddenly, I thought of something. Isn't she the unlucky person aside from the black cat? Have you ever heard of ghost wall trap? The so-called ghost wall trap refers to a situation where people keep walking in circles within a certain range and can't find their way out during nighttime. It is very likely to happen to individuals with bad luck or low fortune during the year. Zhao Yaxin is one of those unlucky individuals. After I bid farewell to ninth uncle, Zhao Yaxin appeared on my way to the empty building. Ninth uncle told me that in order to save Guanming, we must find a black cat to lead the way or an extremely unlucky person. I held Zhao Yaxin's hand and earnestly said, "Can you do me a favor? After that, I can tell you anything. Is that okay?" Zhao Yaxin blushed and paused for a moment before finally agreeing softly. Next, we walked towards the empty building. I told Zhao Yaxin that I could only inform her that I was not an ordinary person. Anything we saw next could not be explained by common sense, no matter how bizarre. These things cannot be told to anyone else. If I can safely make it through tonight, whatever you ask me tomorrow, I will answer. Zhao Yaxin replied firmly. Okay, I believe you. Not long after, we arrived at the deserted building. Zhao Yaxin asked me doubtfully why we were still coming to this place. I truthfully replied, saying that Guanming has not been found yet, and that claiming he has been found would be deceiving everyone, to prevent the situation from becoming more complicated. In the meantime, I turned on the flashlight on my phone and wrapped a strip of tape around my head. I told Zhao Yaxin that losing my memory yesterday was because of you rushing into things. The same thing happened to Guanming today. He was blocked by a ghost. This really can't be explained by common sense. To put it plainly, we are encountering ghosts. Zhao Yaxin couldn't help but take a few steps back when he heard about the ghost. But she still stubbornly said she wasn't afraid. In this situation, other girls would have fled long ago. This girl has an indescribable strength that made me look at her differently. At the same time, my confidence increased a bit. It wasn't just about finding Guanming as soon as possible. There was also a feeling of no longer fighting alone, so I made a secret determination that even if I had to risk my life with that girl tonight, I would ensure the safety of Zhao Yaxin and Guanming. Then I handed a talisman paper to Zhao Yaxin. Tell her to hold onto this talisman paper tightly no matter what happens. Then Zhao Yaxin and I held hands and walked up the stairs. Guanming was lost on the 3rd floor. I told Zhao Yaxin to speak up if she felt uncomfortable. I secretly thought to myself, it's already 2:40. According to previous customs, the 5-pass god should be coming out soon. Time is running out. I used the method that ninth uncle told me, covering the lamp on my forehead with blood to reduce my anger. At the same time, I drew the breaking evil talisman on the back of my hand. The talisman on the palm turned into a talisman on the back of my hand. I pray that the ancestors will surely appear. Otherwise, I am dead tonight. We are walking on the 3rd floor. Suddenly, Zhao Yaxin seemed to have sensed something. She crouched on the ground, trembling all over. She pointed to the nearby doorway and said, "Suddenly I feel so cold, and my head hurts. The chill seems to be coming from that doorway." I no longer hesitated, picked up the breaking evil talisman, and threw it out, along with a sound of urgently, urgently, as commanded by the law. The miasma at the door instantly dissipated. Sure enough, Guan Ming was lying inside this room because he had absorbed a lot of yin qi. This caused him to faint, but it's not a big problem. He just needs to rest well. As we kept walking downstairs and talking, a long time passed, and we still hadn't reached the first floor. I felt a sinking feeling in my heart. I thought of the ghost wall trap because I covered the blood on my forehead that light, causing our luck to be very low for the three of us. Suddenly, Zhao Yaxin leaned towards me. She said she suddenly felt very cold, not just Zhao Yaxin. Even I felt the surrounding temperature dropping rapidly. This is a familiar and oppressive feeling. I thought to myself that something was not right. As I turned my head, I found a blurry shadow. It stood startlingly beside me, the 5 past gods.